Faith, fear, and failure. These are three things that I have struggled with throughout my life. I don't know about you, but I most certainly have. I'm your host, Miss Antesha, and y'all are tuned in to Raising a Woman podcast. So let's dive into it. I was thinking recently about fear and failure. For me, there are things that have not happened because I've let fear get in the way. And I had to ask myself, like, what is that about? And I thought, well, the fear of maybe failure, right? You don't want to fail at something. You don't want to embarrass yourself, of course. But failure is a part of the journey. And I'm starting to learn that, fear is the ultimate problem. It's not the failure part, it's the fear. It's the fear of failing that will prevent you from doing and trying new things. It'll prevent you from stepping out of your comfort zone and stepping into new areas. You want to get to a certain level. You see yourself reaching certain goals, but you're going to have to be bold about that, right? You can't let the fear get in your head and stop you from becoming who you know you're supposed to become. I'm like, man, I fear so much of failure that I'm probably actually really stopping myself from growing. And not probably, I am. I am. Because all of the things I don't do, all of the things I don't try, all of the places I don't go, um, the new experiences that I don't try, because I'm scared of something going wrong. I'm afraid of what someone's going to think of me. Like how are people going to interpret me in this space? Um, just going to make a complete fool out of myself. And I don't know that to be true, but I get in my head, I let that fear rather get in my head and get in the way of me doing things. And so this is where, I have to get better and stronger with my faith. I definitely feel that I am someone, I do have faith. And I do believe that there are things that are meant for me, that there are blessings coming my way. The problem is that I don't know how to activate that part of faith that is so strong even when everything is crumbling, right? Even when situation after situation keeps happening. And I'm like, how do I get to that level of faith to where I still believe so strongly and I still know that God has something so beautiful planned for me, that He hasn't forgotten about me, hasn't ignored me, and so that's when, you gotta pray a little harder, gotta, you know, let's get some scripture out. Let's get in the Bible. Let's see, build this connection in this relationship, because I want to build a strong relationship with God. I just don't want it to be um just about just religion, just going through the steps. No, I really want that relationship. But you got to put in that work and that effort, like with any relationship. It's no different. You got to put that work in and the effort. And so I've been working on that for a while now, and I do feel that as I'm getting older, I'm naturally just becoming better at strengthening my relationship with God. But I still get down, right? I still get insecure about things. I still wonder, like, is this ever really going to happen for me? Are these blessings really going to come my way? And that's that fear. That's that fear. I'm going to work really hard at doing things that scare me, right? It doesn't matter what it is, speaking in front of people or taking over, being the lead of a project, whether it's with my schooling or with work. I need to put myself out there and start getting used to being in these new situations that scare me. Because honestly, that's where the real growth is going to come. The failure is not really the failure. We get caught up on that. But the failure is not really the failure. The real failure is never trying. That's the real failure. Letting yourself just stay where you're at because you're fearful of doing something else that will ultimately take you to the next level. So failure happens to anybody. It doesn't matter how successful a person is. They have failed at something and or will fail again at something in the future. The difference is that they keep putting themselves out there, right? They keep trying things over and over again. So it's not that they never fail. It's just that they never give up and they keep pushing forward, through the challenging experiences that they have. They keep making sure that they keep showing up, even if it's uncomfortable, even if it's what they really don't want. I know that I'm not naturally someone who just easily speaks in front of people. Like, that's not really like my natural personality. It scares me a little bit, right? Get a little nervous, a little bit of stage fright. But I also know that deep down inside, at least, I know that I am capable of doing it. I have done it plenty of times. And dare I say, at times even enjoyed it a little bit. I have found my comfort with speaking in front of groups of people. Um, I don't know why I still will experience fear from it because I realistically know in my mind that I do well. I speak well. I'm engaging. And so why am I so scared? Like, why are you afraid to do something that you know you can do? But even if you don't know that you can do something, still don't let that prevent you from doing it. Maybe the first time you do it is not great, but the lessons that you're going to learn from that is what's going to make you better and what's going to help take you to a more successful level. If you keep letting fear get in the way, you keep doubting yourself, right? You keep having that limited amount of faith, if that's the case. You're really just harming yourself. You're stopping yourself before you even really get to go. And it's one of those things where it's not even somebody else doing it. It's you doing it to yourself, right? So that's even worse. I think when we put ourselves in positions um where we are the ones who are hindering us, not all the outside people, us. We are the ones who are stopping our own growth, and us, from flourishing. Failure does happen. I don't think it's something you can really avoid because I think it needs to happen in certain ways in different situations because that's where we gain the experience and the knowledge, right? Then moving forward, we're able to, tighten things up even more. We're able to expand, on the vision. But then we know what doesn't work because of what we already tried and it wasn't successful. But then we have more of an understanding of what does work or what will work, right? So failure is not what you should be afraid of. I think the real fear should be not trying. Not trying. That's what your real fear should be. The fear of being stuck, but not failure. Not failure. Failure, it may not feel good, it may feel uncomfortable. Um, but it's definitely a lesson that's worth being taught and experiencing, because like I said, that's ultimately how you're going to figure out what works and what doesn't work. So for me, faith, fear, and failure, it just it bounces off of each other. I'm trying to find the balance of building my faith even more and really actually really believing it. Not just going through motions, not being afraid of doing things because I'm quote unquote afraid of failure. And then in regards to failure, being okay with that, because the real failure is having never tried. So life is already a challenge. And so for us to make it even more challenging and to get in our way, there's no need for that. We have enough obstacles, right? There is literally enough going on in the world. Don't let your fear of failure prevent you from your next big opportunity. Whether it's something you're creating, working on, thinking about doing, a new space, whether it's stepping out into dating, right? Last week's episode was talking about dating, online dating, um, a new job. I can't tell you the amount of times that I may not have applied for something because I was like, I can't do that. That's outside of my reach. Like, I don't think I can do that. Now, mind you, I'd have some experience, some similar experience to it, but I still felt like, nah, like I don't think I could be in that position. And so I wouldn't even try. Like, don't even apply for the position, don't anything. Well, some good that does me, right? Because ultimately I want to advance in my career. And I'm not going to advance in my career if I keep being fearful of the advancement. How does that work? It doesn't. It really doesn't, right? How can you want more and be afraid to go after the more? That come on. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. Um you can't get to what you're really getting to or want to get to if you stay where you're at. If you settle. I don't want to settle. I really don't want to settle. And so I have to have bold actions. I have to have stronger faith, you know, and I have to do enough things and experience enough things to the point of where, yeah, failure will happen. Because I've tried so many things. There really wasn't no choice but for something to not work out. But that's all right? Because the percentages, okay, the percentages. Like, let try out a whole bunch of things. Maybe one or two of those things really weren't that great. Okay, but look at all the other things you tried out that might work. So you just have to know that the key, I really feel, to all of this is first and foremost faith, believing, truly believing that you are here for something great. You are meant for something more, but also not giving up, not quitting. I've quit on a lot of things. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I've quit on a lot of things. The funny thing is that I don't quit. I'm good at coming through for other people, but not myself, if that makes sense. Like I'm very solid. when it comes to somebody else. I'm not someone who you just can't depend on and who says they're going to do something and then don't do it, says they're going to show up and then don't show up. Like, I'm not that type of individual. But when it comes to myself, oh man, that track record of quitting stuff, of giving up because it was too hard, because I didn't think that I belonged in that space, in that room, on that team, whatever it may be, has prevented me from so many things. I truly feel and believe that I would be so much more farther in life right now if I didn't let fear get in the way. If I didn't let that fear of failure and that fear of feeling that I wasn't smart enough or, good enough to be in a particular space, I would be so much more successful. I would have experienced a lot more success. But then I think about too, even beyond that, I think about how many more people I would have been able to help. Like, who could I have mentored and from the beginning, and spent time with developing and helping them move up the ranks. And I think about that too. For me, success just isn't about me being successful. It's about me being able to help others. And because I allowed fear to hinder me so much and to stop me from so many things, that has also stopped me from potentially helping so many other people. And so it's like, whoa, you know, I want to be out here and I want to do great things. I know that I want to do that. I know that that's who I am and who I've always been. But I can't reach that as long as I keep being scared. I can't get to that level. And how am I really going to help somebody else if I'm fearful of my own growth and journey? If I'm letting that fear rather stop me. Because it's okay to be fearful. There's nothing wrong with being scared of something. You just need to understand and know that you're strong enough and capable enough of winning over that fear. You have to believe in the foundation of who you are. You have to know who you are, so you might have to dive a little bit, deep dive into yourself a little bit more. Spend more time with yourself. Maybe it's time to start dating you. I know I've been talking about, dating and stuff. Um, but I might need to date myself a little more. Let's let me do a little whining and dining for myself. A little gift here or there. No, seriously. Seriously. You have to invest in yourself. You have to invest in yourself. And I feel like you really need to invest in yourself first before trying to invest in others. Um, just because I just feel like that creates a more solid foundation of once you're secure about who you are more, it's going to be easier for you to be able to help somebody else grow on their journey and to be successful. So, what I would say to you is, if there's an opportunity, if there is something that you might be interested in or, curious about, and the first thing you're thinking is, nah, that's too much. That's too much work. That's too much work. That's too much. I'm not going to be able to do all of that. That's too much responsibility. I'm not going to be able to handle that. Do it. My advice to you is to do it, because you don't know what else is going to line up for you. That experience might create a new doorway for you that you didn't even think about. It might lead you to something even better than even what that opportunity is. Don't let fear get in the way. And do not think that you are not capable of doing something. Listen, all you got to do is show up. show up and present yourself. And if that presentation of yourself aligns with whatever that company or, that person wants, then that's it. Like what are you afraid of? What are you afraid of? You either get the opportunity, right? Or you don't get the opportunity. But don't miss the opportunity. That's what happens when you don't even try. You've completely missed it. It's not even a matter of you didn't get it. You didn't put yourself in the position to have a chance of getting it. So how did you lose it? You you weren't even a contender, right? You just completely missed it. You just completely didn't show up to that moment in that space because of fear and self-doubt. It's one thing for somebody else to feel that you're not ready for something, that something is too high above your skill set, too high above, your development. That's one thing. But for you to treat yourself in that way, that's another thing. Don't be your own worst critic. You know, it's going to be enough people out there who are doing that for you. You don't need to participate in that. Your job is to keep trying, to keep showing up to these opportunities, to keep allowing yourself to grow from both the success, but also the failure. And to know that the failure is not the end of the road. It's a teachable moment. You learn some things. It's not the end of the road. You can take what you picked up from that failure and you'll be able to use it in a positive way for something else. But you have to put yourself in that position. You might be uncomfortable. You might be nervous about it, but you have to go for it. You must. Because how are you going to get to the next level? If you keep skipping out on different opportunities, different experiences. This is both, I'm speaking professionally and personally. You have to be willing to try new things in order to expand your life. If you're afraid of trying new things, it's just going to be the same stuff. It's like with food, right? If you just eat the same stuff over and over and over again, you're going to get more than likely burnt out, right? Over time, you keep eating this same 2 or 3 meals. Most people are going to get exhausted by that. And it's going to be like, ugh, I can't eat this no more. I can't eat this no more. But if you open up your food palette, if you try different cuisines and foods from different cultures and you try and then you like these things, think of how much more options you then have. It's going to be a less chance of you getting burnt out over those same 2 to 3 meals if you have given yourself more experiences. You've opened up your food options more. And that's what it is with everything, with life, with your goals, the things that you want to accomplish, your dreams. You have to allow yourself and give yourself the room to expand. And expansion doesn't come from staying in one room. If you're going to expand, you're going to have to step outside of that room. You're going to have to build more rooms. You're going to have to step outside and expand on the land. You're going to have to create those things. But if you're just staying in that same room, staying where you're at, how are you going to grow? You can have all the dreams in the world. You can have, all the ideas, all of that. But if you don't step outside of your comfort zone, if you don't allow yourself to enter into these rooms and these situations that you feel inside of you that you don't belong there, like you're like, I'm a fraud. I shouldn't be in this environment with these people. They know what they're doing. Let me tell you something. No, don't let don't let the people fool you. Okay, they probably lost in it too. I'm trying to tell you. You be thinking people have their stuff together. They do not. They do not. They are figuring it out as they go. Just like you and I. Just like you and I. They may be in a different pay bracket. They may have higher positions. That doesn't mean that they have it all together. It doesn't mean that they're not failing at something or that they don't have self doubts about where they're at. They probably feel they don't belong in certain rooms, right? Certain areas. So don't that's that whole comparison. Don't do that. Don't compare yourself. You just make sure that you show up, that you allow yourself to have the opportunities to step into the spaces in order for you to have the chance of expanding because that dream is going to stay a dream if you stay where you're at. It's only going to turn into reality if you put that work in and you put yourself in the positions and you allow yourself to expand in that way and allow yourself to fail. That's how that dream is going to become reality. That's how you're going to be able to see who you feel you're supposed to be, who you see in your mind, you feel in your heart that you're supposed to be this person. That's when you'll start to see and get closer to that. The more you let yourself live, the more you let yourself have chances, have opportunities. But if you don't show up, if you don't apply, if you don't try, then you just missing out. You didn't lose it. You completely missed it. All right? So we got to be bold with our actions. I'm going to do that. I'm thinking of stuff too. I'm like, "Ooh, what's something I might have to make a little list of things. Am I going to have to make a list of things that scare me? That I'm nervous of doing? Oh my gosh. Listen, I can't talk it and not walk it, right? If I'm going to talk about it with y'all, then I'm going to have to do it, right? That's just a must. Is that not a requirement? Are we not requiring me to do the things that I'm speaking? Uh, I think this week, this week I'm going to make a little list of some things that I may be nervous about doing, some things of trying um that I'm going to make sure that I do. Uh, I'm going to make sure that I do because I have to put myself out there. Uh my vision and my dream is huge. I know that. So being fearful, that's not going to work. No, no, ma'am. That's not going to cut it. That's not going to cut it because I'm not going to be able to accomplish and to get to where I'm trying to get to with fear. Okay, with fear stopping me. I'm going to have to push through. I'm going to have to bulldoze through some things. I'm going to have to I'm going to have to make some stuff happen. Okay? So y'all be bold too. Maybe do what I'm doing. Write a little list of some things that make you uncomfortable, that you're afraid of doing. Okay. And think about what it is like, what is the fear behind it? Are you afraid of embarrassing yourself? You're afraid of messing up? Are you afraid that you just don't belong in that space or what people will think of you? Like, think about what is the fear based off of? And then think about what it is that you want in life. So where are you trying to get to? What do you want to be? What do you want to experience in life? And then ask yourself, are you able to get to those things that you want? Are you able to get to those dreams that you're dreaming of with this fear being there in the way? Are you? I don't know. I don't know because I know for me, it's blocking me. I tell you that right now. My fears are blocking my growth. And there's not even a real reason because I haven't experienced something bad from it yet. So it's not even like, oh, I'm thinking of a past experience and I'm traumatized by it or this and that. No, I don't even have that. Right? That goes back to the you I'm missing things because I'm not even trying. I'm not even doing it. So maybe that's something that's happening to you. So what are you going to let win? Are you going to let your fear be greater than your faith? Or are you going to let your faith guide you and show you the way? I think you know. I think you know that there are some things you've missed out on. There are some things that you're like, man, I'm not doing this. I'm not doing that. Oh, because I'm afraid of that. Oh, because I'm afraid of this. Oh, I think this might happen or that might happen. But they're things you want to experience. And is life not about experiencing those things? The world is so big, but yeah, it's so small at the same time, but there's so much beauty to it. There's so much beauty to it, and we deserve to get to it. We deserve to see it, we deserve to experience it, and more importantly, we deserve to be happy. You deserve to be happy. You deserve to live the life that you truly want to live and to be the person who you really truly want to be and believe yourself to be. So don't let fear get in the way. Because again, failure is not the failure. The failure is not even trying. That's the real failure. Because you'll at least get a lesson from the failure. Whenever you do fail, you'll at least learn something, hopefully, and understand this is where it went wrong. Oh, because I did that. Oh, I did this. No, we shouldn't have done that. And so then now you know moving forward, right? So you learn something from the failure, but you learn nothing from not trying. The only thing you get is where you're already at. You're not moving forward. You're not going to the next level. You're just where you are. And if you're like me, that might make you feel stuck. So listen, let's have bold actions. Let's let our faith win over our fear. And let's stop fearing failure because that's not the hindrance. That's not the end. Failure comes with lessons and it gives you experience. So stop fearing it. Stop, you know, making all these things up in your head that could go wrong before you've even tried. You are greater than you know. You are stronger than you know. You are more capable than you probably really understand. So allow yourself to experience that. Allow other people to experience that, right? Your growth, your progress, whether you think about it or not, it opens up the doors for so many other people. Somebody else will see your journey, they will be inspired. I want y'all, as always, to have a amazing week. Make a little list. Like I'm going to do this week of some things that I know scare me, of some things that and it doesn't even necessarily have to be just that. It could be things that maybe you've thought about trying that you just haven't tried. So it doesn't have to necessarily be like a fearful thing. It's just about putting yourself in new areas, new spaces, new positions, right? To allow yourself the growth and the opportunity of experiencing something else and the lessons that you'll learn from that. So make a little list of things you just haven't done before and you've thought about, well, let me do it. Write that list down and let's work on checking off those things on our list. Checking off those experiences and everything. I said on the last episode, I'm going to have to just start showing up because where do you meet people? like, where do you meet people at? I'm just going to have to start popping up places. That's true. That I'm going to have to start popping up places, right? Nobody's going to find me here. Nobody's going to find me in my home. Like, girl, you're going to have to get out, let the people see you. Okay. Let the people see you in some outfits. Keep going, keep pushing. Have faith that's stronger than the fear. Don't let that fear hinder you. Nothing wrong with the failure. It's a learning lesson. All right. I'm your girl, Miss Antesha. You have been tuned in to Raising a Woman podcast. And like always, from pain to purpose, let's talk about it. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.